Hello there, Scorpio, and welcome to your March reading. Great to see you guys as always, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of energy and information is coming through for you this month. Now, I like to start every reading off with a little bit of channeled information, and I arrive at that channeled information as I select a deck of cards and start to meditate on your sign. There were a couple of things that came through for you this month. The first one was a message of motivation, and when I tuned into what was causing maybe some of the blockages with motivation, it really had to do with self-care in the way of not just sleep, but also allowing for enough time for recreation and downtime. And it's interesting that in today's society, sometimes we feel like we have to just work and work and work until we are exhausted, and that's the way to go. But really what you want to do if you want to be productive, kind to yourself, and to really preserve your energy is you're going to have to create some time for play or for relaxation or recreation. So if you have a regular 9-to-5 job and you have some saved up vacation time and there's a way to take it this month, it would be a perfect way for you to treat yourself and to refill and to re-energize your energy system, but also just to kind of become inspired again. And that will create the motivation. The other thing is looking at your life in general and thinking, what is it that gets you excited about getting up in the morning? For some of us, it's not always our job. It might be some sort of passion that we pursue outside of work. Maybe it's service that you like to do, some sort of volunteer work. You might also be an artist outside of your regular job. Whatever it is, I want you to try to cultivate that this month. That's going to be very, very important for you, and it's going to spill over into all aspects of your life. The passion that you put into these projects, the love that you give to yourself, and allowing yourself for a chance to rest and be relaxed is going to make you healthier, more productive. It's going to bring more love into your life. These are very important things that we sometimes overlook. So that motivation that you might be lacking or feeling a little bit of a downturn in is really because you have to take care of yourself and you have to find something that's feeding you besides the traditional things that we think are important, okay? So focus on those things, and I think you're going to really find that this month can be exciting and that you're going to have more than enough energy to go after everything that's important to you. Now, one small change, which you've probably already noticed, I just want to highlight it. I used to put the channeled information on note cards. I was moved this month to shift my energy away from that and just talk about it live. So I meditate right before, then I just want to channel it live for you. One, because it's more environmentally friendly, and two, because it allows for a more fluid delivery. And I think in the end, that's really important. Okay, now let's look at the cards themselves. Before I shuffle, I'll just go through how I lay it out. First, I do a Celtic cross. Then I take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. So really gives us a chance to look at everything. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and give the cards a good shuffle. At this point, I like to remain quiet because, like you, I want to take a look at where the cards are, what the cards are, etc., and really allow for the energy to come through. So let's do that now. And in addition to the cards that I pull here, I also use a catalyst deck every month, and it rotates from month to month. But this catalyst deck will sort of give us a theme for the month, a connective thread, and will also kind of help you overcome any challenges that you might be experiencing in trying to make things happen in the way that you want them to happen. So let's see what your message is this month. We have this frog card, which makes me laugh a little bit, because what we see here is someone or something that is thriving in conditions that we may not always see as ideal. In fact, I'm seeing rain come down on this. And so the real message of this card is for you to embrace the moment. Try not to think, ugh, why did this happen? Or why are these things happening to me? The truth of the matter is everything that's going on this month and always is a lesson, is an opportunity that you've pulled in. And when you change your perception about the moment, then you can be sort of as comfortable as this frog and think, this isn't so bad. And so what I want you to do is to adapt to your situations. When I think of amphibians, I think of the ability, and some frogs and particularly like geckos and lizards and things, they can kind of shift their colors, and they can also, or they blend in with camouflage, and they also don't need to sort of worry as much about the environment because they're cold-blooded, so they kind of adjust to where they're at. So what I want you to do this month is to feel that sense of, I can handle this. I can blend in with this unusual situation. I can go with the flow. And if it's raining today, it might not be raining tomorrow. So just kind of be more in the moment and let things flow through. And that's really what the universe is looking for. When you start to resist, or when you start to think, things are preventing you from going where you want to go, then that perception becomes a reality. So why not perceive it as just a moment, just a rainstorm, just a moment in time? And I think that's going to be a lot easier for you to deal with whatever comes your way. The cards look pretty good this month, so let me pull the camera down so you can see what I'm looking at. The center card is probably the card that has the most instruction for you right now. We have the Hermit. I actually love the Hermit card because it's a deeply spiritual card that is reminding you that you can spend, and you can get a lot, actually I should say, you can get a lot of insight from any meditation that you do this month. There's always a caution with the Hermit though. You don't want to go so off the grid that you lose touch with people. So take that time to restore, just like I was talking about in the channeled information at the beginning, and that's going to give you the insights that you need to figure out what to do next. And I love that we have the Three of Wands here in the crossing position. This means that you should start to see some signals this month that you're headed in the right direction. So even if the beginning of the month you start to think, I don't know, maybe this isn't going to happen, be patient. Three of Wands is a sign that you should start to feel your momentum pick up, especially by the second or third week of the month. So stay on the course that you've already set, continue to work hard, because from what I see here in your deep past here, we have the Star. This is showing me that you're ready now to do something, to step out on your own, maybe to share something new with the world about yourself, or maybe you're ready to express yourself in a different way, or share a new project or something. But the Star card is a great grounding card. And the one thing that this is communicating to you, even if you're not an artist, even if you're not feeling this sort of flair for doing something bold this month, it's saying that the most success that you will feel this month is going to come in moments where you are absolutely being true to yourself. Because at its base level, the Star isn't always a card of showing off or being in the spotlight. It's about being true to yourself. Because to me, it's about that connection to your highest self. And just like we are all basically like the Star, we're made from stardust, we're eternal beings, but we're in this physical body and we get kind of mired down in the day-to-day stuff. But when we start to express what we truly feel and what we know in our higher self to be true, then we're unstoppable. So I don't want you to hold back this month. Even if it's in a quiet, subdued way, you want to work your passion, be true to who you are, and this is where you're going to be powerful and people will respect you, even if it's not showing off. Just doing what you love to do. Perhaps you're someone who is like a hands-on sort of person working with like woodworking, or you could be a chef or something like that. You're not always going to be out there on the front lines, and people may not know who's doing this, but when they experience what you create, your energy goes out there, it brings more people in, and it basically is a magnetizing force. So whether or not you want your name attached to it, know that what you do when you love doing it is going to make an impact this month. And when I'm looking at your recent past, and usually this card spills into the first week of the month, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. This is a very pensive Seven of Swords. And when I look at fives and sevens in this particular suit, fives sometimes are about second guessing yourself, needing to focus. Sevens are usually about wanting to step away and focus on something else, letting go of things. And so you see this sort of scribe here, really focused in the moment, not getting distracted by what other people are saying, what hasn't worked in the past, any sort of perceived failures. I want you to kind of be like the scribe here and focus on what you really care about, but let go of some of the stress that we're seeing in this one too. Trust yourself. And the crowning card is precisely what I was alluding to in the channeled information, which was take a break. Six of Swords is a distance card. It can be a holiday, a vacation, a trip, something where you're feeling a sense of distance from the day-to-day stresses that you might be experiencing. So do embrace this card if you, again, if your budget allows, if you have any sort of time queued up and you just haven't used it, vacation time, this is the time to do it. Now the Six of Swords is also a card where you might be letting go of someone in your life, an old friendship, an old love, or you might have someone that you just need some space from. So that Hermit card at the center plays in nicely with this as well. So if you need to do it, that's fine. And I actually think it's beneficial because right on top of the Hermit is the Three of Wands. So if you've been experiencing sort of a downturn in your productivity, a great way to counteract that is to change environments. So if your job allows it, maybe you can work in a different part of the office, or you could work from home, or if you're a creative person, you want to change up the environments as well. So like I'm a writer, instead of writing from home, maybe I would go to a cafe. So think about ways that you can reinvigorate yourself through a change of location if it's not going to be some sort of a vacation. I'm actually pleased with the money card for this month. Nine of Pentacles has a couple of meanings, but from a financial standpoint, it shows me that there are resources that are going to open up around the middle of the month. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a windfall of money, but it shows me that there's going to be an opportunity coming through that should be beneficial. It also shows me from an energetic standpoint that after the first week and moving into the second week, right around the 9th or 10th, you should start to feel a boon in your energy as well, you know, an added boost, and take advantage of that. The third thing that I'm getting from this card is a sense of independence, because whenever I see Nine of Pentacles, it usually shows someone that's either taken care of or self-sufficient. And when I say taken care of, it means that they have their needs met. And if you can decide which end of this coin you want to kind of go after, but I feel like you shouldn't have to stress too much for resources. And if you are, maybe you can look around in your circle of friends and see, or your greater connected group, and see if there's someone that can assist you, because it feels like you have a lot of resources and people that want to be sort of helping hand this month, and that's great. Again, with travel, when we're looking at your ego card this month, it really wants to be carefree, and that is right in line with what I said earlier. So I'm seeing a couple of travel cards, one sort of independent card being on your own. The Hermit to me is often a lone wolf, and I think in this illustration we even see you know, a wolf with him. So that quiet time is going to be very, very beneficial for you this month. And I also see this as sort of a vagabond card where you don't want to weigh yourself down too much. You'll notice that the Fool just has like a knapsack, not much to worry about. So if you travel, travel lightly. And if you can't take a vacation, then I just want you to try to walk around your neighborhood, walk around the office during lunchtime, get out in nature, providing that the weather is going to be permitting this. But just movement is going to allow for your energy to also shift in a positive way. So embrace that if you can. Your environment card here, we have the Five of Pentacles. Because I saw a lot of positive energy around resources, I'm actually going to infer that this card is about your self-confidence, and it could also be about relationships with parents or close relatives. And there's you need to mend these areas of your life. So if you're feeling a little bit of doubt about yourself, I see so many positive cards here that I would say some of this might be more internal and more emotional than factual. And so you want to work on that, whether it's talking to a friend, a loved one, or even a professional, whoever can support you and help you shift your point of view. Remembering what the Catalyst card said this month, which was your reality is based on your perception. Change your perception, you change your reality. So this card is normally associated with what I call maternal energy. Whether that is in the body of a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, but whoever feels like a mom to you or has that mothering, nurturing energy, it feels like they're gonna need either some assistance from you, or this relationship could be going through a strain. Or perhaps even you're feeling a little left out. because typically this card shows people out in the cold and kind of not connecting. So what I want you to do is try to connect with that person, validate that you love them, and if they're not doing that to you, you could also say, I'm sensing that there's a little bit of separation from us, as evidenced here by the Six of Swords. And you could just say, I don't like it when we go through these quiet moments. Let's just talk it out. I feel like we can clear the air and focus on what's important. You'll find the words that make sense to you. And I really think that, although sometimes in culture it seems like we carry this weight of, well, I want the other person to call or do this. I'm sort of the school of thought that whatever will release the energy is the most important for you. So if it means picking up the phone, do that, and just don't be confrontational. Just say, are you okay? Is everything going all right? And open it up and allow them to tell their truth, or at least their whatever their version of that is. As we're looking at hopes and fears, I sense a little bit of impatience in this card. 10 of Wands is typically about, it's like graduation, ending, closure to something in your life. The reversal means not quite yet. So I want you to continue to work hard. Know that with the combination of the 3 and the 10 of Wands, that we're looking at something that's a quarter of the year away. So we're looking at maybe 2 to 3 months. You're very close to completion or to an ideal timing. So depends on what your hope is. So if you're looking at asking for help for something, or proposing to someone, or creating some sort of a new project, or whatever it is, moving, I'm seeing the timing as being a couple months too early right now. So take your time, really pick that perfect moment, and know that once you do, things are looking pretty good for you. When I'm looking at the outcome card here, we have the 9 of Wands in reverse. Now, 9 of Wands is more accurate to the situation, nearly there but not quite. But it's also a card of surviving. And so it shows me that you are absolutely able to take on any sort of challenge that comes your way, but you may not be recognizing that. So you may still be thinking, oh, why is this stuff happening to me? Or, why can't it be this way? And although those are valid human emotions that we all experience from time to time, myself included, they're not necessarily helpful. And so what's going to be better is to think, what can I do to maximize this? And that's what the frog is telling us again from earlier. What can you do to sort of just be flexible, to blend in, to go with the flow, and to see the rain as a blessing? So if there is something that's emotionally challenging, just sit with it for a second rather than immediately reacting, okay? Let's go ahead now and expand your forecast. We'll begin with your health card. Health includes mind, body, and spirit, and we'll let the cards dictate which area is most important to you this month. So this is a time when you really want to pay attention to others when it comes to health, and perhaps looking at your own family history here is what I'm getting from this card. So take a look at what has worked, what hasn't worked in your family, and also what you might have some sort of a tendency to be susceptible to. And this is a chance for you to do a course correction if needed. So it's also about paying attention to your body. The card, when I pulled it, it was reversed. So if there's anything that you've been ignoring this month, I think it's a great time for you to talk to someone if you're scared about it. I mean, that's a natural reaction sometimes if there's something going on and you don't know what it is. So talk to a doctor or do some research online. And the other thing is just kind of do an internal check and see, do I feel good? Am I happy? Is there anything I want to change? And in these moments of meditation, which we're seeing here with the Hermit card, you're going to have a chance to get a better understanding for how you feel and what's going on. And sometimes what I do when I'm meditating is I'll do a psychic scan of my body. And if you're feeling healthy, what you can do is just do an energetic scan. And I may do a meditation on this one time just to show you how to clear chakras. And I just sort of feel, where is the blockage going on in my body? And it's almost like Reiki on yourself, and you just work through it, breathe through it, and you can clear stuff. So that's something that you can try as well. So we just looked at your health card. Let's take a look now at wealth and see what's coming through with respect to money, career, stability with finances, etc. So it's really important for you to get organized. another reverse card, but it's not so important with the oracles here because the overarching message is the same here. So I want you really to feel, one, that you're comfortable with how your finances look. If there's anything that you don't like, I saw that there are resources and opportunities that should be presenting themselves this month, so I want you to sort it out. If there's anything that you feel sad or bad about, then this is the time to start to repair it and get it in order. Maybe talk to a professional, a wealth management person, a financial advisor, a tax person, whatever. And the other thing here is just to organize your files in a way that makes sense for you. So sometimes, you know, especially if you're busy, it's just hard to manage all the receipts and all of that. I totally feel you because I have my own business and I know how that goes. This is a month where it would be really great to just spend some time and figure out a system that works for you. And again, kind of observing what hasn't worked before, just like you were looking at your body. Look at what's worked and what hasn't worked in years past. And try to figure out deadlines and methods that are going to be more helpful as we get into this next year. So after looking at health and wealth, we're going to look at love. Love can include any sort of intimate relationship in your life. Again, let's let the card turn our attention towards what's important. For love, we have energy healing. So whenever I see this, it's really about letting go of anything that doesn't feel right. So if you're, this includes if you're holding a grudge, I want you to try to release those. If you feel uncomfortable with someone in your life, create some distance there. If there's something you need to talk about, it's important across the board that you balance out that energy, that you heal things and you release things. I mentioned to a few signs, I did a contract release video as a guided meditation, and I know not everyone looks at the guided meditations. So take a look at that if you want to, and if you feel attached to somebody, let them go and work through that. And it's a great thing to do for exes in your life. You can also do it with people that you know as a friend or as a family member, but you can release past life contracts as well. All right, so now let's take a look at your destiny card. This is really where you're headed. If you like where you're headed, you can stick with it. If you don't, you can do a course correction. So I see this as a combination of a GPS card and also a call to your own free will to make a decision. So again, let's see what the card has to say. So I think that as you continue to move through this month, the beginning is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I see a clearing happening towards the end of the month. You should be able to feel a little bit of an ease in the how busy things are going, or at least knowing where you're headed, seeing like a light at the end of the tunnel. So the big message this month is it's about clarifying or clearing out energy and also clarifying your vision. Once you do that, you'll be able to breathe. You'll be able to, just like this tree or this young tree here, you can grow. You need space to grow. And I think some of what the the initial message was talking about was allowing for that space, and then even the crowning card here to create space if you don't have it. So let's go ahead and review everything that we talked about, and then we'll wrap up. I mentioned in the channeled information that I sense that there could be a little bit of a blockage, and it was a blockage in your productivity or your momentum. And I think that that can be solved by just giving yourself a chance to relax, to take a holiday, possibly to change up the environment in which you work. And when we looked at your catalyst this month, it was reminding you to make the most of every situation, to try not to be too rigid and to just relax, to just be present. And then let's take a look now at all of the cards and what they meant, and then I'll expand it one last time. Center card showing great things to be gained from meditation, that you might have a little bit of lone wolf energy that's coming through this month. That's fine. Cherish that if you need it. And I do think that a change of space and letting go of some of the noise is going to be very beneficial. We have the Three of Wands on this, showing that the third quarter of the month is probably going to be the most productive for you. Again, we talked about having ample resources, focusing on what's important, not second guessing yourself, really being true to who you are. That's the key to success, not just this month, but in your life. Getting out in the elements if you can, if the weather's permitting, and if not, just changing where you work. Having some sort of fluid movement in your life. Dance is also a great way to do this, by the way. So if you like dancing or aerobics, jumping, jump roping, I want you to kind of change up your energy. So if you can't get outside, there's a lot of indoor activities you can do that will give you the same effect. Heal anything that's wrong with your finances or with friendships, particularly friendships with maternal types in your life. Again, it can be a man or a woman, but it's that nurturing energy that you want to pay attention to. When we're looking at hopes and fears, patience is really what this is saying. And the end card is saying don't give up. You have exactly what it takes to get where you want to go. You've done a lot of work to get there, so don't let one small incident or even just impatience take you off course. I want you to pay close attention to your health and also any sort of family history that's pertinent to you. Talk to a doctor if you need to. Otherwise, you can do a quick energy scan of your body and make sure that you're feeling okay. Get your finances in order, plain and simple. Something that works for you. Talk to a professional if you need to. When we're looking at your love, it's about letting go of any sort of energetic connection that you have with someone that doesn't feel healthy. And when we look at your destiny card, the whole purpose of this month is to get to a point where you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, to start to clear things out. So we talked about some clearing that can happen in your health, in your relationships. The net result of all of this is at the end of the month, you feel better, you can see more, and you finally feel like you can spread your wings a little bit. Really great month, I have to say, for you. Probably one of the clearest and brightest readings that I've seen for any sign this month. You got a lot of positive cards with the Nine of Pentacles, the Star, and even the Ten of Wands, although it's reversed. So what's most important for you is flexibility, fun, and movement. I think if you do that, anything that's feeling stuck in your life won't feel stuck for long. I hope that this was helpful for you. And listen, if you ever need to talk to someone about important decisions, a big life change, something that matters a lot to you, I'm here for you. You can check that first link in the description area below, and it will bring you to a booking site where you can see rates and availability. If you like videos like this and want to support me, more than welcome. I use any donations that you guys give me to get new Oracle decks and new Tarot decks, also just to pay for the month-to-month production costs, maintaining equipment, and also paying for the internet. So know that it goes a long way in making videos like this possible, and it helps a lot of people. So no pressure, but if you want to do that, you can do that through my website or through Patreon, and you'll see links below. If you'd like to stay in touch, the easiest and the best way to do so is just to subscribe to the videos here, and there's a subscription button right below the video. Make sure to click the bell icon as well, and you'll get emails whenever I post new videos. I have a newsletter as well, so if you like that kind of direct contact from me, I do it once a month, and whenever these monthly videos are posted, you'll get something directly emailed to you. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and I always post updates there as well. Sometimes I have live feeds there. I'm going to try to do a little bit more with Facebook and Instagram this year, so definitely follow me there if that's something that you like. And a quick note for any of my previous Instagram followers, you'll need to change the subscription to my new address, which is @Nicholas_Ashbaugh. And there's a link in my old profile page, so you can follow it there. There'll be a link below, and I just said it right now. It's just my first name _ last name. So with all of that being said, I always like to end with a positive note about how grateful I am to work with you guys for month to month. And I'm really proud of the work that you're doing. And when I was meditating over every sign, not just your sign, I started to get a vision of a chain of light. And that inspired me because there's a lot that's not going great in the world right now. This is something that is going great. The fact that we're starting to wake up, a lot of us. And I'm encouraging everyone this month to really be supportive and loving towards other light workers. I think that kind of energy is going to be essential as this planet continues to wake up. And a lot of what's going on in the world right now has to do with the fact that people are feeling more and seeing more. Some people are freaking out. Others, like us, are getting kind of empowered and awake and allowing our light to shine through. So know that everything that's going on is okay. And the more you work on yourself, the better we can make this world. So make this a better world, make yourself a better person, and continue to shine brightly. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of it as well. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.